Hi, good afternoon, everyone. There are too many celebrities here already. And as Sir said, that I was given an award in 2018. That was for rescuing this was my fourth rescue actually. And I was awarded. Luckily, I didn't know I was being awarded. I had sent a message to my wife because the fishermen which I rescued, they were drifting there for past 3 days without food, water, and ration, and their engine conked off, and they got drifted 30 nautical miles inside. It was a small island called Mayotte, which I never knew about it. It's not there in the map if you see. Luckily, because of the technology, we had ARPA, which was working, and then we could locate the current map, and we went and delivered them to the French Navy, which was they were, you can say, they were lucky enough that we had that chart with us. So it is all about technology, and that's how we got them saved. And when we delivered them there, they were like, when they came on board, they were in fever. I had given them local fever medicine, what I had, Dolo 650, and that is how they got saved. And they got that Yama propeller chopped on their head, and blood was coming out, and they were, you can say, till their chest in water from past 3 days. Imagine in daytime, you can imagine the sea. And that was this tropical storm which had hit Madagascar. It was called Eva tropical storm. So in that, their engine got conked off and they got drifted. And luckily I don't mostly go on the bridge after my duty or before my duty. So I was like, these guys called me like, sir, the Indian bosun. He said, sir, I've made elaichi wali chai. If you would like to have, I said, chalo, if you're like doing all that, then you've taken effort, so I'll come up and have chai with you. Luckily, I went there and they were talking to me, putting their legs on the bulkhead. So I said, guys, see, what you all have done is, you all have put your legs here, and it is spoiling the tapestry. So he's like, sorry, and that is how I located that vessel which was going. I thought it's because it was a big vessel, our VLCC, and it is a small boat which is like a thermocol. But there was some shine on it because they had mirrors in their hand. So they were reflecting that. But we thought that maybe it is some fish. So we went there, and then I went back again and I said, Ari, this is the Surya boat which MRCC had given a message on May Day. That is 3 days back. So then we went back, took a turn and located them, looked them in the binoculars. And this is how I found that the boat was called Surya. So I said, this is the same boat which was telexed on May Day by MRCC. So we got them, and the worst part was that we got one person out, and we shot LTAs, 4 LTAs, but we could not get them. And luckily one we got, and we pulled manually. So we say, this raft is there, this boy is there, but what human beings can do, that no machines can do. So we manually pulled that one person from the boat, and the second one, again we drifted because the weather was very bad. And you can imagine, there was tropical storm, 5 meters, 6 meters swell. So when that guy came on board and we could not locate the other one, and the sun was going down, you will not believe, there were tears in our eyes that, two can survive on a small boat, but one cannot survive alone. So what will happen if that guy is left alone? So then and then I said, what we'll do is, we'll use whatever lat long we had given on to the company, we'll go back there. We fed that latitude, longitude on AIS, and then we went back again, and then we could locate the other one just before the sunset. So we got him also up, and they were both happy. They were like, in French, they were saying, God, God, God. They were telling us God, because there were so many vessels which passed them, and nobody saw them. And luckily, they came on board. So they were like, in French, they were repeating the word God. So like, y'all are God. I said, we are just messengers of God. God has helped y'all. So this is how, and then you can say that we called our management. So management is like, Somalia is there, maybe they're Somalians. I said, I've been in Navy for a very long time, and they're not Somalians. They're like, if they are drifting from 3 days, they should have little stubs of beard and all. I said, Negroes don't have that much growth of beard, and that is how I had to convince my management that time. But luckily I had the owner's number, so I called on the satellite phone, I called the owners, and I said, sir, we found this boat here, and I've picked up these two guys from French island. They're saying it's Mayotte. So they're like, no, 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 don't worry about the fuel and all. You just drop them wherever the Navy tells you to drop. So I told my management again that I spoke to the owner, and they have agreed. So what is your problem? So like, so instantly I get a message on my telex that management has agreed. Please go ahead and speak to the owners. It was vice versa. I actually spoke to the owners first, and management took over and they're like, okay, we've given you a green to go, and you speak to the owners now. So I already done that. So it is not something, sometimes you have to have that human touch at sea also. That is why when I went to Norway to collect the award, there were people getting drone life rafts. So you don't have to go, because what happens is when you go and save someone, he tries to pounce on you and he wants to breathe. So he thinks you're an object. So I have done that in a Siemens club when I was a cadet. So he was sitting here on the stairs. There was this new guy from Lucknow. He thought the shower was there near the pool. He thought, I said, you take a shower and then you have to come, because it's strict this thing, ethics you have to carry. So he like, you go have a shower there and then come. So he thought that whole water is same level in the swimming pool. So he jumped in the side which was deep, and he's coming up and going down. I was like, Arey, what is he doing? He's acting funny. We can only see his hands. Why is he doing that? They're like, we are having drinks here, so he should come here, no, directly. We're like, I think he's sinking. So we ran and we jumped and caught him. So he caught our hair and he was trying to float. So that is how I came to know that when you teach in STCW 95, that is actually correct, because you should know how to go and approach these guys, because you have to catch them from behind. Because if you go from front, they want to float, they'll catch whatever is there and they'll sink you. So you both will die. So it is very crucial, and that you can say seventh sense you should have when you're doing all this. So this is how I located these guys. Then there was a bosun which fell from my tanker. He was pulling a rope. Luckily I told him, you should wear a life jacket always when you're on the corner of the railing. So he wore a jacket, but then the rope broke and he fell. So he passed from the bow and he came out from the port side, imagine, from the bottom of the ship. Luckily he got saved, and we threw a life buoy to him, got him up, and we had to slap him and tell him, you're alive. He thought he's dead. And this was my fourth rescue actually. Then there was, thank you. Then there was this Malaysian couple which was given fishing package. So they gave a local fishing package to honeymoon couples. So from Kota Kinabalu, these guys drifted with 2 people. And then we got them located on an island called Mayotte, Kota Kinabalu. And we had to literally ask them that, again, that is little piracy area. So you cannot believe also on them. And then there is a lady. So, but we could see that because she was very fair, Hong Kong couple. So we could see the skin was chipped off, and they were like white and they've turned black, because again 3-4 days of direct sunlight. And when she came on board, she was like, she again said that, I had only chips, soda and all these biscuits, what you carry for a small fishing, this thing for a half day. And we've survived for past 2.5 days, only on this chips and Coke. So that is how we got them. We got them messaged to the hotel. The hotel management took a speedboat. They came and we had to cancel their tickets. We came to network to get them off boarded. But then all this paperwork, this hassle, because you're trying to save. So no company wants to get into all this. So you have to take special challenges sometimes at sea. You're not ready for this. This is nowhere you will learn all this. Like ma'am is from HR department. We need HR department. We need HR department at shore. Why? because you need hiring and firing people, but when you're firing them, you try to retrieve them first and mind wash them, that wherever you go you'll take more challenges. It is not everywhere it will be easy. You cannot just run from one place to the other. So it is very important. The lifestyle what we are living here is already stressed. We want to ease the seafarers actually, because they are half the time not in network, they are half the time away from their families. So it is very, very difficult. So it is 50%, you can say, what we compare with the human life. That's why I think the code doesn't allow that. That's what I heard, that the code doesn't allow a seafarer as a witness. They say they are mentally little hilela. That's what they say. That's what I've heard. They don't take our yeah, anybody from the law side? I've heard this because one of my friend, he was there and he said, if you're a mariner, your witness will not be counted because you are little disturbed from your mind, so you can take any decision. That's what I heard in the courtroom was said. So I'm not sure about that till it remains the same or no, but it is very difficult. Yeah, it is very, very difficult for a seafarer. Once I did 18 months in my cadetship at sea. When I came on board, I used to literally touch the bulkheads, go in the loo and hold the bulkheads in the hotel also, because you're too much into rolling, pitching. So that stress, who knows? Only a seafarer will know. So that is where the HR department will come into picture and explain that this is the stress. Sitting in the office, if you don't have no experience of sea and saying that this thing is wrong, that thing is wrong, there was a company. It doesn't work that way. So you have to have mariners who's done little period at sea to be given and to be given advice to the HR department also. So short story I had, and I would also say I was a cadet for 7 days and in S&P shipping, Colaba. So I was on the pontoon. And my bosun told me, that time we had no pre-sea training. So I was a direct cadet, 1996. So after that the pre-sea training came into picture. And I was coiling a boom. The crane wire had to be replaced because the strands were broken. So so he said, what I'll do is I'll put the lever down and lock it, the crane. And the gravity will get the wire down and it will automatically coil because it's got that shape on the drum. So I was coiling that, and then it was a big ship, 224 meters. So there was wind blowing from the other side, and this guy could not hear the bosun, and bosun was from Minigoy. So I am shouting from here that the gravity, the lever is going up now. So the wire took me up. So I am already on the 8th floor on the pontoon hatch, open hatch for ventilation, and I am going up now. So I am calculating the boom is more 8 floors up and I am 8 floors down, so calculating 16 floors I have to fall. So I tried to swing out the cable and I jumped and there was grease on the drum. The whole coil opened and the pontoon was open. So literally if you see a pen, that spring you can see, it was the shape I can still see in my nightmares. I am passing through that, and luckily the wire opened when I passed that. And that noise, that boom, 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 I can still hear in my nightmares. And I fell and I was falling. I was like not even 40 kgs. I was very thin, very light. So in boiler suit was like that fitter boiler suit which had holes, and it got air inside. So literally I had time to fall. And I was falling and falling and I was thinking, no yaar, my dad says that your right is, I was falling on the right side. I was like, no, my dad says if you're a righty, you fall on the right, then too difficult. So I planned all this in the air. So I fell on the left side. So I like, Arey God, please, if you're taking me away, don't give me that pain. Take me, but don't give me that pain. And there were all gods in the line going. I like, sorry to everyone, sorry to family. All this is going in my mind. And then I used to see Demi Moore's Ghost movie, if you've seen. That Junoon by Rahul Roy was copied from that. So I literally, when I came up and blacked out, I don't know whether I'm alive or not. I banged, and it was a very soft thing. I don't feel pain. And I got up and there was a blackout because the hatch is closed. You are blacked out. So I'm literally, kicking the body and checking where did I fell. So I was like literally in the hatch. I'm like, oh my God, maybe somebody can see. I can see somebody. So all that calculation is happening now. So I'm thinking that I'm dead. So after a while, I can see the staircase is shouting my name. So they used to call me Tom Cruise. There was a British captain. They were like, Tom Cruise, oh, Sunny boy, what are you doing? I said, sir, you can see me. And I like, oh wow, white shirt, white shorts. So I thought angel, nothing black. So I thought black is hell. And white is angel. So I like, oh, chal, kuch अच्छे काम किए लग रहा है. Angel is come to pick me up. So I like, why does he look like my captain? And white beard. So I said, sir, can you see me? He said, of course I can see you, but who had a fall? I said, sir, I had a fall, but you can see me? He said, I am so lucky, yaar. After dying also you can see people and they can see you. So he's saying, sir, so he said, then he told me that you were having a fall. You fainted as soon as I said that he can see me. So I thought, I'm still alive. So he said, I touched you here. My left hand was broken. These two bones, my brand new shoes sole came out, the steel came out and broke my knees. It still pains in cold weather. But luckily there was no rod put. And my bad luck was that it was 2nd October, high sea, Mumbai, and no doctors were available. And in the morning, when I was taking alongside this provision boat, I was like, it was 8 o'clock and it was breakfast time. As a cadet, you think, अरे यार ये wrong time पे आ गया, the provision guy. So I said के चलो ठीक है. So he said, अरे the chief officer called. He like, no, you take the ropes for the provision. So I took the ropes and put him alongside. 8:30, I went inside. 9:15, this accident happened. And that same provision boat was stopped and I was told it worked like an ambulance for me. So, all this was calculated by the superpower, I'll say, that I was the one to get that provision boat. I was the one to go in that. So I was getting ready for this thing, but I was crying that I'm working extra for all this. But you never know what you're doing for.
Siddarth, I want to talk to you later. Yes. We'll have a nice interview. Nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, when you came to my office, I was a brash young guy. My God. You have some nice lecture.
Thank you, thank you.
I didn't know this sensitive side here.
Thank you, thank you. This is all that's happened. It has been a long journey, very tough life at sea. We've passed tornadoes, missiles coming here, there. Then a tsunami happened. We used to see bodies floating when Indonesia tsunami happened. 8.9 magnitude on AIS we got. So this is all technology mixed with humans, but it is not only technology. You will have to have humans. There is technology, but the humans should know how to use it. The future is human plus technology. That's what I say.
Artificial intelligence only.
Only. So I'll say a little about Norway. I had gone to Norway and I saw this biosecurity fishing guys in China now. They've got AIS on each and every fishing net. They've got AIS on each and every fishing net in China. So that is how precise. So if you go from China in mid-sea, you'll see it shines like a diamond because there is all nets and you have to be careful while passing these nets. So we should have in India also. I think not yet started. We should. And it's not too much. It's I think 500-600 rupees AIS, a small chip which goes on the net. So we should come up with these nets also, so we know whether.
But AIS is terribly expensive. It's 2 lakh.
No, not that big one. There's all a detector which China's got. Only a small chip on their net. And there are drones coming. There are floats coming in the watches I saw in Norway. This is all future. There's a hydrostatic cylinder inside a watch. You pull that if you're in the swimming pool or anywhere.
Trying to find these small chips for autistic people, So we can find out, the family can find out where is he gone.
Yes, yes, there are available.
Small child who was already missing for 2 years. My wife and her friends are trying to find the child.
No, there's Apple Tag which has come. I have it at home. Apple Tag is there for Android phones. There are these 250 rupees a sticker, and you can locate your dogs and people like that. Yeah, yeah, it is available.
It's very reasonable.
Very reasonable. So I would say a little about there are developing countries, employment rights, global future, human resources, legal issues. All this can be handled through future. There is a digital censoring come. There's bigger mega ships which have come, which have precise, and you can detect your crew in the evening. If it's like a roster, so you don't have to check who's missing and who's not. It's like a Wi-Fi which works on the ship. So only the duty officer just has to check all on board or not. So all this technology is there, but not yet employed on all foreign ships. There's green ship recycling. I am into demolition delivery voyages. We are making a new project for APCO, if you know. We'll be making a ceiling on Bandra ceiling. So we are the first ones as a Mizzen director. We are the first one to deliver them 2 vessels, which day before yesterday we delivered them the second vessel. So there's a jackup. Thank you. There's a jackup barge there. You can see at Bandra ceiling on the right side. And then there is 2 spud barges made by us. So they are all into piling. Their first piling was done day before yesterday on 25th. So it's I think 1200 CR business. And all the marine builders are busy from past 1 year making ships for them. Yeah, there are tugs required. There are 22 tugs in the making and more 24 tugs required. So it's a big project. It will go from Bandra to Warsaw, and then from Warsaw it will be going to Vasai. So we'll have that coastal road from Haji Ali connecting the Bandra ceiling. So that's all Raja Vaiz ji is telling me to wrap up. Thanks a lot. Been a nice audience. Thank you, sir.